My chosen scene to analyse was the Terrell Bosley case study, which places a large focus on the issues surrounding gun violence and easy accessibility to guns in the United States, especially in Chicago. Throughout the clip, a number of documentary conventions are utilised to present the documentary's overall contention being why do these gun-related violences keep occurring and why is gun accessibility so easy?
Trey, just give us a layup. And you can, wait a minute. What's your jeans on too tight? $5 you missed. No backboard. Backboard don't count. Can you take out the garbage for a week if I hit? I don't want $10. Oh, pressure's on.
It starts with actual footage of the victims' brothers playing basketball outside with their father. This then cuts to the interview of the mother of Terrell. This is done through the use of the convention editing and sequencing. This sequencing of the footage and the interview immediately allows the viewer to associate the woman being interviewed as the mother of the victim and the boys who were shooting the basketball outside.
We have more guns than we have on our streets than we have people. You can hear gunshots once a week, once every other week. So that's why I'm so afraid to have my children go out play basketball, walk to the store, and it's a basketball court, maybe like 2 blocks from my house. I don't let them go there because I'm afraid of them being shot. So they actually have to stay right back at my house and shoot basketball. And I feel bad as a mother to treat them like that, but I just cannot afford to lose another child to violence. I can't do it.
Conducted with Pamela Bosley, who is the mother of a gun-related death victim, Terrell Bosley, states, "We have more guns in our streets than people. As a mother in Chicago, she is intimidated and has become more protective of her kids and their safety." She then quotes, "That's why I'm so afraid of my children to go out and play basketball or walk to the store. I don't let them go there because I'm afraid of them being shot." This shows the emotional toll that these massacres and shootings have on the families of the victims. Pamela Bosley's perspective on the gun violence debate is that laws must be tightened so that guns are less accessible to ensure she doesn't lose another child, or in her own words, "I just can't afford to lose another child to violence. I can't."
We'll find it hard to sleep tonight.
Terrell always was in front, always doing things. Even in grammar school, Terrell he played in all types of plays. He was the lion in The Wiz, and then he played in Annie. He was on the football team. Then he got in a band. He learned how to play the bass guitar. He always was active.
Playing third right there.
We kept him in baseball, basketball, just doing all the things we could do as a parent to protect him and to keep him out the streets. I got up and got ready to go to work, and Terrell was asleep, and I woke him up like, "Hey, I'm going to work." Then later he called me. He was like, "Mom, I'm going to church. I'm at church." So I said, "Be careful." He was like, Mom, come on now. You always worry. I'm at church."
Pam Bosley's son, Terrell, was shot in this church parking lot just before band practice. The police still haven't found the killer.
His case is still unsolved. It's so many stories.
The clip then cuts to a flurry of archival footage of Terrell's achievements before his death. The footage includes videos of him playing baseball, singing in church, and videos from his graduation. During the playing of the archival footage on the screen, there is a voiceover of the continuation of the mother in the interview and then Kurik's voice when she outlines how the death of Terrell occurred. This reinforces in mother's perspective that if laws aren't tightened and if access to guns isn't minimized, then more kids like Terrell will die due to gun-related activities.
It's unsolved, and the first thing they say is gang-related. So how can you say gang-related when you don't know what happened?
One of our major problems in our communities, easy access to guns. They can get a gun faster than they can get an education, a job, or something to eat.
We talked to 6th and 7th graders. We was asking them, can you get a gun? Do you know how to get a gun? And majority of them raised their hand. Yeah, my friend had one. I can borrow my friend's. Oh, it's a man selling them out the trunk for $25. Everybody knew how to get a gun.
Where do these kids get the guns?
Legal gun owners are purchasing guns, straw purchases, and they're selling guns on the black market. And it's like sold right out of the back of a car or right at a gun show or online. When you get a person coming in buying 20 guns, something should go up saying, hey, you're not a dealer or you're not a collector. Why are you buying all these guns? What are you going to do with it?
We're losing a whole generation of our youth. It's not gang-related issues. The crime is on humanity. And unfortunately, this is something that society has created, and our kids are the ones that end up in situations that they should never be in.
The mise-en-scene of the Chicago mothers in this share circle is a utilization of the documentary convention of interview. In conjunction with this, the voices of the mothers run over the top of actual footage being played on the screen of young children playing basketball and playing with each other at public parks. Whilst this is being played, the mothers of the gun-related deaths contemplate how easy it is to access guns in Chicago. One mother states, "Everybody knew how to get a gun." The low and somber music in the background of this scene contributes to the viewer sympathizing towards the families of the victims and the circumstances they now have and live under.
I don't think the public really realizes what a problem we have. Kids in the United States are 4 times as likely to be shot as kids in Canada, 7 times as likely as kids in Israel, 65 times more likely than kids in Great Britain.
These are countries that are...
Through effective sequencing, the clip instantly cuts to an infographic-type animation that illustrates the likelihood of a child being shot in the United States compared to in other countries. While this graphic is being played, there is a voice-over of the US Congresswoman Robin Kelly who puts this statistic into words to work together with the visual representation of the same statistic. She states, kids in the US are 4 times as likely to be shot as kids in Canada, 7 times as likely as kids in Israel, and 65 times more likely as kids in Great Britain. This representation of the statistic reinforces the perspective that if gun laws aren't hardened, then these figures will stay at the same or maybe even rise into the future. There is audio of gunshots in the background that align with the percentage figure of the likelihood that a US child is to be shot compared to a child in the other country, creating an overwhelmed response from the viewer.
watching American TV shows, Hollywood movies that are playing video games. These are very culturally comparable countries with some pretty significant differences about the role of guns in their culture.
If you consider that 32,000 people die every year in this country, to gun-related tragedies, if anything else, if there were a terrorist organization doing that or a disease doing that, we would be absolutely committed to fixing that.
Lastly, the scene finally cuts back to an earlier case study of the Barnum family. It resumes a direct sit-down interview between Kurik and the mother and father of a 7-year-old boy who died in the Sandy Hook massacre. The dad states, "If you consider that 32,000 people die every year in this country to gun-related tragedies, if it was a disease doing that, we would absolutely be committed to fixing it." This shows the father's perspective that a demand for change needs to be called upon and laws must be tightened.